अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते ओहु मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओहु मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। वंदितु सौव सिद्धे ध्रुव चलमणुवम गदिम पत्ते वो छामी समय पाहुड़ मिणमो शुद्ध केवली वणिदम नमः समय साराय स्वानुभूत्या चकासते चित स्वभावाय भावाय सर्वभावांतरछिदे। Acharya Kunkun Dev's Samysaar, and the commentary is written by Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev, and in between there are Kalash also written by Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev. So last week we had completed verse number 3, where it was said that the soul that has attained unity in reality, Ekatva Nischay, is everywhere beautiful in the world. So the substance in itself is very beautiful in the world. Only when it mixes with another, then there is a question of contradiction. So how these contradictions can be ruled out, that has been discussed in the next verse, 4th. Okay. So therefore within that unity, the notion of bondage with another is discordant. Okay. So this bondage itself is a matter of discussion. When you say that each substance is independent, okay, there are no connections in between two substances, then where is the question of bondage coming up? Okay, but that bondage is also we have to accept. If the bondage was not there, then there was no need to give any preachings, right? There is a bondage, there is a transmigration happening, there is an authority of karma, okay, which the soul is related to, okay. All these are not absolute false, okay. There are some truth in that, but it is not the absolute truth, okay. Absolute truth is that each and every substance exists in itself. It does not touch another substance, and when it does not another substance, where is the question coming up of mixing or bonding with another substance? Okay, so from that perspective, if you see, it seems to be there is a contradiction, but in reality, if you see, there is no contradiction, because each substance exists in itself. It never goes out from its Dravya Shaktra Kal Bhav. Okay. Swadravya, Swashaktra, Swakal, Swabhav. Swadravya is self-substance, self-space, self-time, and self-disposition. Okay. So we never cross these boundaries. Each and every substance never cross its boundaries. So where is the question coming up of at getting attached to another substance or bondage between two substance? Okay. So when you see from that perspective of the bondage, then there is a question of swasamay and parsamay, self soul and the non-self soul. Okay. So the one which takes shelter in the soul is a self soul, and the one which takes shelter in the non-self substances is a non-self soul. So when you consider bondage, then there is a question of self soul and non-self soul. But when you don't consider when you don't consider the bondage, then there is no question of self soul and non-self soul. Okay. So this is how the verse number 3 pans out, I would repeat the last two paragraph, and then of course we will move before that paragraph in the commentary, that is on the page number 44. Yeah, first paragraph. I am just repeating these three paragraph so that you remember what exactly it was. All these substances remain absorbed within their own dravyas, substance, and as if kissing or touching, they come into contact with the cycle of their own infinite properties. So each and every substance has connections, or it touches its own infinite properties, yet they do not touch one another. So each substance is independent, they don't touch one another, though they exist in extremely close proximity. This is the second point. That was the first point. Sharing the same spatial points, still they never deviate from their own inherent nature. So each substance dwells in its own inherent nature. It never crosses its nature and mixes with another. Okay, this is the beauty of the substance. The third reason was because they do not undergo transformation into the form of others, their infinite individuality is never lost. Okay, their infinite individuality is never lost means they remain in their limits only. They don't go out of their limits. Okay, they retain their infinite individuality. Okay, therefore, like figures engraved upon a coin, they remain eternally constant. And the last point, and through their causal participation, okay, in all mutually opposed and non-opposed functions, okay, and their causal participation in all mutually opposed. Now, what do you mean by mutually opposed? Darshit, what is this mutually opposed?
This is Utpad and Vyay.
Very good. Utpad and Vyay, evolution and extinctions, origination and cessation. Okay, so that happens in the modification, and that is of course mutually opposed. But there is another part, that is attributes, and those are non-opposed functions and non-opposed functions. Okay, so paryay is virudh karya and the gun are avirudh karya. Okay, and through their causal participation in all mutually opposed and non-opposed functions, they uphold the universe perpetually and render functionality to the world. They uphold the universe perpetuality means they the whole automation system of the six substances of the universe is automatically maintained in this way because each substance retains its individual identity. They never mix with another. So because of these 4 points, each individual remains single only. They never mix up with any other substance. And that particular singularity is beautiful in the world. Okay. Every substance finds its beauty within itself. Okay. The talk of bondage with another or mixing with another is contradictory, because when you say each substance is independent and that also you are talking from the real point of view, then where is the question coming up of bondage? Okay, so it's quite contradictory. Now the second and third paragraph, in this way, when the distinct oneness of all substances is established. Established means it is proven that each substance retains its individuality, they never mix up with another, they remain in their own zone, right? One minute. I'm trying to enlarge a bit. Fine. Yes, thank you. In this way, when the when the distinct oneness of all substance is established, that is when each substance individually is firmly affirmed, then upon the establishment of this oneness, an objection arises to the doctrine of bondage in relation to the entity called Jeev. Other substances, four substances don't have any problem. Then matter and Jeev have this problem. Again, matter is a non-living substance, so it has no problem. It never experiences pleasure or pain, right? So it is only the Jeev which is having a problem because it's in the bondage. Okay, it's in a bondage kind of relationship. And we all want to get liberated. That is our purpose. So if the bondage was not there, then why you are talking about the liberation? Why the path of liberation? Okay. So everything would become invalid if we don't consider the bondage. So the bondage is also truth, but again, it is from the conventional point of view. When we say bondage, it's from the conventional point of view. From the real point of view, there could not be any bondage. Okay. So an objection arises to the doctrine of bondage in relation to the entity called Jiva. The purpose is that, the purport is that when all substances are mutually distinct, then why is the phenomenon of bondage spoken of only with reference to the Jiva? Okay. That is the question. Why is the phenomenon of bondage spoken of only with reference to the Jiva? When the very concept of bondage does not stand, then the assertion based on it that the Jeev abides in the Pudgal Pradesh also cannot stand. And on that basis, the notion of Parsamayipana, okay, non-self soul, too cannot remain. When there is no Parsamayipana, then how can the division of Swasamay and Parsamay, okay? Samay here means soul and Swa means self, self soul and non-self soul, which depends upon it, continue to exist. When this division itself ceases, then the oneness of the Samay is thereby established, and that alone is spiritually excellent. So ultimately, by giving all this logic, ultimately it is proved that the oneness of each substance is thereby established. Each substance is independent. Each substance exists within itself. There is no way that a substance can have relationship with another substance. And this is the truth from the real point of view. Okay. So ultimately this has been proved. So we cannot rule out what is being said from the real point of view. But whatever we say from the conventional point of view, that will obviously be ruled out when we go to the real point of view. Okay. We have learned about the 8 Nayas, right? So out of that, 4 were conventional viewpoint and the other 4 were real point of view. So we saw in each and every viewpoint that it is being negated by the real point of view, Why? Because the nature of the real point of view is that it has to negate the conventional viewpoint. And what is the nature of conventional viewpoint? The conventional viewpoint's nature is to take us towards the subject of real point of view. So both are doing their own job. Conventional point of view job is to take you towards the real point of view, and real point of view's job is to negate the conventional point of view. We had understood this by 2 examples. One was about the person crossing the river. If you don't board the boat, how you will reach there? And once you reach there, you have to leave the boat, right? So that was one example. And the other example, can anyone remember? Subha? Soap. For washing the clothes, we have to apply the soap and then we have to remove the soap.
Directly.
Understood?
Yeah.
Remember both examples? So, this goes on to prove that the total nature of the substance can very well be explained with the help of conventional viewpoint and real viewpoint. If you absolutely rule out conventional viewpoint, then also you will not be able to know the substance in the true sense. And if you rule out the real point of view, then also you are not going to understand the substance. So we need to have both viewpoints working in tandem with each other. The function of conventional viewpoint is to take you towards the real point of view, and the real viewpoint's job is to negate the conventional viewpoint. And this is how we understand the nature of each substance. Okay. So this was about the third verse, wherein ultimately we proved that the individuality of each substance is the real truth, and that is hereby established. Okay, and that alone is spiritually excellent. Okay, this is absolutely excellent. And when you see matters in when you see the substance in that light, automatically you become fearless, tensionless, stressless, because there is no stress, there is no tension. Each substance is independent. There is no connection that somebody would come and harm you, somebody would help you. No, nothing. Each one is individual. Their modifications are individual. The modifications sequence is also prefixed. So where is the question of any kind of doership? There is no doership. Just enjoy. Just be a knower and enjoy. Be an observer and enjoy. If you become a doer, then you will suffer. Okay. So this is the essence of verse number 3. Now moving on to the verse number 4. Based on this, verse number 4 and 5 are based on verse number 3. So it is a continuation, and in the verse number 4, which is on the page number 50 in our PDF, and 46 in the Hindi page number. Yeah, next. Yes. Yeah, this one. Samysaar Gatha number 4. So in this fourth Gatha, it is clearly expressed that the narration of desire, enjoyment, and bondage are accessible to everyone. They are familiar to all worldly beings. But the understanding of that unitary yet distinct soul, unitary yet distinct Bhagwan Atma, supreme soul, is not readily attainable. It is indeed extremely rare. Okay. So Acharya Kundkun wants to show this soul. Which kind of soul? Unitary yet distinct. It is unitary in itself and distinct from others. एकत्व विभक्त्व. स्व में एकत्व है और पर से विभक्त है. Okay. It is unitary in itself and distinct from others. Okay. This is the ekatva vibhakta Bhagwan Atma. This is what Acharya Kunkundev is committing to show us the nature of this Bhagwan Atma. So that Bhagwan Atma, all the souls are Bhagwan Atma. Okay. And Acharya Kunkundev will show us this pure soul to us. What we have to do? We have to just accept it. Okay. We don't have to do anything. We have to just accept that this is the right what you are saying. If by doing that much, we become that pure soul. In fact, even if we don't believe we are pure soul, but just because under the influence of delusion, we have lost our identity, right? We have forgotten who we are. Okay. So Kunkunda Acharya Dev is taking that effort to make us realize that what we are. And once we realize what we are, then we know that when we are a pure soul, the function of the pure soul is to know. So you keep on knowing. You keep on knowing here, you keep on knowing in the next birth, you keep on knowing in the again next birth, next birth. Wherever you go, you are a knower. So if you adopt this, your true identity, then of course you are going to get liberated very soon, and there also you will remain a knower. You were a knower in the past, you are knower in the present, and you remain knower in the future also. No other change happens in the pure soul. Its nature remains the same. It is same sim eternity. Okay. We have been transmigrating just because we never realized this pure soul. We never understood its true nature. Okay. So that's why Kunkund Acharya is taking up this task of showing this unitary yet distinct soul to us. Okay. And he says in the next verse that if I show you, you experience it. Okay. But don't develop any doubts or any kind of misrepresentations. Okay. So that will be in the next verse. But here, this much is the verse that uh, narration of desire, okay, enjoyment, calm, bhog, and bondage are accessible to everyone. They are familiar to all worldly beings. People have experienced this infinite times. Okay. In all the births that we have taken in the past, we have done only this. Kam, Bhog, Bandhan. That's all. So that is very familiar to all of us. What is not familiar is the unitary yet distinct soul. Unitary yet distinct soul. Ekatva vibhakta. Okay. Subhaji, this bracket Hindi words are given, that also you understand, huh? Okay. Because when you give exams, they do mention the Hindi words also, and there is a Hindi version also which you can look at if you don't understand the question. So little bit main words like this. This word will
Yes,
be
yeah.
used, this word will be used time and again in verse number 4 and 5. Unitary yet distinct soul. And throughout Samysaar, the aim of Kunkund Acharya Dev is to show this unitary yet distinct soul, because this has been never spoken of, this has never been discussed, and this is very rare. Okay. But the narration of desire, enjoyment, and bondage is something which is accessible to everyone. Everyone is familiar to it, everyone has experienced it, everyone has given guidance to each other about this, because everyone enjoys that, everyone has experienced that. But this unitary addicting soul, nobody has known it, nobody has experienced it, and that's why it is extremely rare. Okay. So that is the main verse. We will read the Hindi version. Next page. सबकी सुनी अनुभूत परिचित भोग बंधन की कथा, पर से पृथक एकत्व की उपलब्धि केवल सुलभ ना. So this is not which is freely available. The nature of the pure soul, nobody talks about it, nobody explains about it, because nobody has realized it. Okay. So that is very rare. Okay. You can count on your hands how many right believers are there in the universe right now. Not in the universe, Mahavidya Kshetra, there are many, but we will talk only of the Bharat Kshetra, where we are right now. Okay. So Bharat Kshetra constitutes the whole universe. Okay. It's not only, not universe, but the world. The world that we see, the geographical world, it's all part of Bharat Kshetra. Okay. So that is not something which is attainable everywhere and to everyone. So that is only what Acharya Kunkund Dev is going to talk. Okay. So we will see the tale of desire, or the narratives of desire, enjoyment, and bondage have been well heard by all beings of the world. Now these three words, each word has its meaning. When you talk of desire, then the touch sense and the taste sense has been included in that desire, touch and taste. And when you say enjoyment, then the other three senses like smell, sight, and hearing. These three are included in enjoyment. And bondage is the bondage between the soul and the body, the soul and the karma. Okay, so that is about the bondage. So bondage also has three meanings that we are going to discuss going forward. So first, let's finish the original verse. The tale of desire, enjoyment, and bondage have been well heard by all beings of the world. They have also been understood and directly experienced. Hence, they are indeed easily accessible. But the account of the Bhagwan Atma, pure soul, supreme soul, who is distinct from the non-self and one with himself, distinct from the non-self and one with himself. One with himself means ekatva, and distinct from the non-self means vibhaktva. Okay, has never been heard, never been understood, and never been experienced. Therefore, it is not easily attainable. One thing coming to my mind, that we are so fortunate that in this cycle of transmigration, we have taken infinite births and we never heard, never understood, and never experienced this Bhagwan Atma. And what kind of good deeds we had done in the past that we have got access to this. We are able to understand it, its nature, and we are ready to realize it also. Okay. So this is such a unique opportunity, unique event that has come to our life, which otherwise there was no, like you can say, like as far as I am concerned, there was I was never interested in religion, but I don't know how I got this. Okay, maybe past deeds only. It's same with all of them. Some do have accessed it from the beginning itself, but most of them I see across. So everyone has got some connections here and there by fluke. Okay, and people are understanding it, and there are many people. We are not one, two people. This community is growing, you know. In fact, sometimes I feel that although we are right now in the fifth era, but we are having associations like the fourth era. Okay, so much of information, so much of lectures, so much of books about pure soul. Okay, so this is something very rare, very rare. I don't know how we can explain the uh, meritorious karma that has come to rise for us. Okay, but whatever it be, the challenge is to understand it properly and make it our own. Okay, once you understand it, you make it your own. Okay, so long you don't understand it, then it is of a third person. We are talking something about a third person. But when you understand it, then it is about myself, first person. Okay, so we continue. This is the very reason why the revered Acharya wishes to make the otherwise unattainable account accessible through this sovereign scripture, Samysaar, the Samysaar Granthadiraj, the supreme treatise, Samysaar, king of all scriptures, you know. The scripture itself is such that it's very hard to glorify in terms of words, you know. It's king of all scriptures. And Acharya Kunkunda Dev went to Mahavidya Kshetra, had a listen to the sermons of Simandar Paramatma, okay, Simandar Aryant Bhagwan. And then he came back to Bharat Kshetra and wrote this scripture. So we are very fortunate that all the 415 verse we have got. Otherwise, Acharya Kunkund Dev, Acharya Amritchandra Dev, they wrote on Tadpatra, okay, and they never carried Tadpatra with them. They wrote it and kept it there because they are monk, Nigranth, possessionless monk. They don't keep any possessions like this. If they would have been collecting Tadpatra, Then imagine 415 Gatha of Samysaar, then 275 Gatha of Pravachansar, then Niyamsar, then Ashtapahud. How much they would carry? They don't carry these things. So they wrote. Why they wrote in the first place? Because there was a feeling of attachment arising in them, that whoever wants to understand this pure soul, or everyone should understand this pure soul, because by understanding this pure soul, you manifest happiness which is otherwise not available in any of the sensual pleasures. Okay. So with that feeling, they wrote this book, that somebody would come someday, and if he wants to understand this nature of the pure soul, then this would act as a support. And while writing this, they also enjoyed this. They also, their own spirituality was also uplifted. So it was a mutual relationship. But having said, they were not able to absorb themselves in it. So there was an auspicious attachment that has come to the rise. And because of the attachment, they have written these scriptures. Okay. So, so this Samysaar is the supreme treatise. Okay. Although in worldly usage the words kam and bhog are almost employed in the same sense, yet Acharya Jaisen, even while accepting this general meaning, further clarifies it by stating that the word kam denotes the object of the sense of touch and taste. Okay. Kam, desire, denotes the object of the sense and touch and taste, sparshan and rasindriya, while the word bhog denotes the object of the senses of smell, sight and hearing. Okay. Thus the expression, the narrative of desire and enjoyment, comes to mean the narrative of the five sense object. So that was one part. Now the word bondage, what it means. So again, three meanings are given there. These are not, both the paragraphs are not part of the syllabus, but we are understanding it just to get the clear meaning of each term. Okay. Then the main part will come, the commentary by Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev. That will be a part of our syllabus. Okay. Interpreting the word bandh to mean related to means sambandhi, kam bhog sambandhi, kam bhog bandh. So bandh's first meaning is sambandhi, related to. Okay. Interpreting the word bandh to mean related to, he writes that the phrase denotes the narrative concerning desire and enjoyment. Okay. So that is the first meaning, the narrative concerning desire and enjoyment. Okay. Related to desire and enjoyment. Okay. This is the first meaning of the word bandh. Second, he also explains a second meaning of bandh as the bondage involving the four kinds, namely Prakriti, that is the nature, Pradesh, spatial point, okay, Sthiti, duration, and Anubhag, intensity. Write it down, you will forget. Prakriti is nature, Pradesh is the spatial points, Sthiti is duration, and Anubhag is bondage. Out of this, Prakriti and Pradesh bondage happens through the activity of mind, speech and body. And the last two, duration and intensity bondage, happens due to the passion. Yes, due to the passions. And this bondage due to passions is of very high level compared to Prakriti and Pradesh, which is a very minor bondage. Okay. In fact, the intensity of fruits is governed by the passions only. Okay. Because Aryant also have this mind, speech and body, and they do have Prakriti and Pradesh bondage, but they are in supreme bliss. Okay. So Prakriti and Pradesh are not that much what you call influential, or it doesn't give any effect to the soul. But Sthiti and Anubhag, they are the major component of the fruits that the soul experiences because of this bondage. Okay. and their resultant experience in the 4 states of existence such as hell, etc. Hell, heaven, human, subhuman, etc. Transmigration in 4 realms. Okay. So this is the second meaning of the word bandha, bondage. There is a third meaning coming up. In the commentary on the third Gatha, he had already interpreted Bandh Katha as referring to the modes such as Gunasthan and so on. So Gunasthan would be the third meaning of the word Bandha or bondage. Okay, so we have understood the meaning of calm, desire, bhog, enjoyment, bandh, bondage. Okay, all these 3 words have been clarified what it means. Now, one more paragraph before we come to the Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev's commentary, which is the part of our syllabus. All these paragraphs are not part of our syllabus, but still we are reading it just because to get the clarity on the meaning. Priyanka, you are understanding, no? If you struck up anywhere, if you are not able to understand, ask me there and there, okay?
Sir, I'm just maybe trying to connect between like a previous lecture, where we talked about earth, calm, dharma, and ethics.
Right. So
So I'm trying
those
to,
were 4
also-
kinds of efforts that a human being does. Okay.
yeah.
So
So
out of
that
those 4 kinds of efforts, three are not important. Okay. The fourth effort about the liberation,
I was concluding. Hmm.
that is exceptional, and that is what we should do. Okay.
Yeah.
All these
So
3
sir,
we have done enough times.
yeah. So sir, the first three I'm trying to like kind of think about
Yes.
the in this context that we are talking about right now.
Right.
So I'm thinking like how would touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing, like calm enjoyment would fit into that.
So first one was about merits, dharma. Okay. Then
Yeah.
was about merit. The second was about wealth, earth. Okay, wealth.
Mhm.
Then the third one was about dharma, earth, calm,
Calm.
desire. Okay. So these 3 were that, and the fourth one was liberation, which is what is superior to all the 3, and that's an exception. So that was there. Now connected to this, the 5 sense objects we can very well cover into the uh, desire. Okay.
The
And
calm aspect
yeah,
of that.
and wealth is also connected to desire only. Why you are earning wealth? To have those 5 sensual pleasures. Okay. So in a way, wealth is also and merit is also connected to that, because of merit only you are getting wealth. Because of merit only you are getting the objects of sensual pleasures. So all these 3 will be included in this Kam Bhog Bandh. Okay.
Calm, bhog, bandh. Okay.
Yes.
So one question I don't understand is like we understand bondage or bandh.
Right.
Why is it saying like it refers to sambandh related to the narrative concerning desire and enjoyment when we already talked about desire and enjoyment before? So like that calm enjoyment, bhog.
Kam
Uh,
is desire, Bhog is
yeah,
enjoyment. Okay.
yeah,
And the third one used is Bandh. So
bandh.
we have infinite times take a talk had a talk about this, had an experience about it, and we also prescribe these things to others also. Like, you
Yeah,
go to a restaurant and you find the food very awesome. Then you immediately recommend to your friend that, oh, go there, the food was very good. So this
yeah,
is all that we have been doing since time immortal, because this is all we have been doing it. Okay. But this unitary but distinct soul, we never understood, we never got in touch with people who have understood that, we never accompanied them. Okay. So that is not very easy, it's rare. Okay. So that is what Acharya wants to depict us in this treatise Samysaar. Okay.
okay, sir.
So this has been done enough, infinite times we have done all this. In fact, we are doing this only. We are considering this only as happiness. So we have been indulging in this since time immortal. Thus, comprehensively, his meaning is this, that the narrative concerning the 5 sense objects, the 4 types of bondage, and their consequences in the form of rebirth in the hellish and other realms, and the mundane modifications in the form of the spiritual stages, gunasthan, has been heard, understood, known, and even experienced by these countless times. Hence, that narrative is easily accessible to all ordinary beings. Okay? But the discourse concerning the Bhagwan Atma, who is distinct from the non-self, established in oneness within himself, Ekatva Vibhakta, transformed through the absolute triad of jewels, Nischay Ratnatray Parinat. Okay? Right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. These are the 3 jewels. Okay? Transformed through the absolute triad of jewels and free from attachment is not easily accessible. Not easily accessible. How many people in Dubai knows about this, Priyanka? Not even 1%. The total population of Jains in India is, you know how much? 0.40%. All the Jains, Svetambar, Digambar, Terapanthi, Bispanthi, Sthanagvasi, Deravasi, you go on, different branches put together, total population in India of the Jains is 0.40%. And they pay around 30% of the income tax, this 0.40% population. So, of course, this discourse concerning the Bhagwan Atma is going to be very rare, okay? Is not easily accessible. So, even among that 0.40% Jains, okay, which will work out closely around, I think, 50 lakhs. If we consider 130 million populations of India, worldwide the population is, I think, 780 millions, right? So India is 130 million, and out of that 130.40%, if you put it, approximately it would be around 50 lakhs, I suppose. Okay, so that much, how many are having access to true God, true scriptures, and true monks? How many? So even 0.40, you take away 0.36, only is 0.004%. And that also, how many are interested in studying? Right? Priyanka, 3 years ago, you were interested in this kind of studies? Not my cup of tea, right? But somehow you got the connections from your cousin, whatever. And now you are studying it.
Google Translate.
Huh?
I used to sit with Google Translate.
Yes. So everyone's story is same, you know. Even my story was same. So this is absolutely very rare. This is what I wanted to realize. Okay, nothing else. So again, I'll repeat that line. But the discourse concerning the Bhagwan Atma, unitary yet distinct soul, who is distinct from the non-self, per established in oneness within himself, that is unitary, okay, transformed through the absolute triad of jewels, Nischay, Ratnatray, 3 jewels, right belief, right knowledge, right conduct, and free from attachment, is not easily accessible. For this very reason, the revered Acharya Kunkundev commences the exposition concerning the Bhagwan Atma, distinguished in oneness. So again, this word you cut down, you write, I have done my correction, you do it. Concerning the Bhagwan Atma, you cut down distinguished in oneness. We will use this word unitary yet distinct. So Bhagwan Atma is already mentioned. So you just write unitary yet distinct. Otherwise, where Bhagwan Atma is not written, you have to write unitary yet distinct soul. Ekatva Vibhakta, unitary yet distinct soul. Unitary means established in oneness within himself. And distinct. Distinct means distinct from the non-self. Everyone is clear about it. This is very, very important. Okay. So revered Acharya commences the exposition concerning the Bhagwan Atma, unitary yet distinct soul. Ekatva Vibhakta Atma. Now the start, this is the syllabus in our, this is our syllabus, Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev's commentary, okay? Although, yeah,
Sir,
anyone wants to ask? Yeah.
sir, sorry, just a quick thing, sir. I know we've done this a fair bit. Commentary means what, sir? Like Tika, what is Tika?
Tika
Like,
is commentary. Tika means commentary.
but sir, what relevance does it hold? Like, say, Amrit Chandra.
So I'll tell you one thing. Acharya Kunkundev wrote the main verse. Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever came to his mind, he wrote down at that point of time.
yeah.
1000 down the line, 1000 after 1000 years down the line, Acharya Amritchandra Dev came. He got hands to that scripture, Samysaar, written by Kunkun Acharya Dev. And he studied that. And he thought that something needs to be added. So he elaborated on that. He explained that. And that's the commentary. Okay. 300 down the line, Acharya Jaisen came. And he also thought that this something has not been clarified. So just let clarify these words. So this kam means taste and touch, and bhog means smell, sight, and hearing, right? So how do we know this? Because Jaisen Acharya told, you know.
I see.
And then after Jaisen Acharya, Pandit Jaichandji Chabda, after another 400 years, Pandit Jaichandji Chabda came. He wrote down the bhavat of this. Then after another 100 years, Banarasi Das ji was here. He wrote Samysaar Natak. Then Pandit Rajmal ji was there. He wrote commentary on the Kalash of Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev. Okay. And then of course Swami ji came. He did the lectures of each word of Samysaar 19 times in the General Assembly. You know, each one took time of 1 year, 1.5 years for each to complete the scripture, because every day it was 1 hour. Okay, so 365 days, 360 hours, and it was around 600 hours each. So it was almost 1.5 years, and that too he did 19 times. I am having all the books of the 18th time, part 1 to 11. Each gatha, each colors is explained word wise. And there are also course references given. Okay. So in our Anushilan, you will read that what Swamiji has to say about this at some places. I will point you out. Okay. So you just can imagine that so much of description has come about this. So it is becoming easy for us. Just imagine if this were not there. Only Kunkunda Acharya's commentary in Kunkunda Acharya's words in Prakrit. How do we have access to that Prakrit? How many would have understood? So you see, we are right now in the best phase of, you can say, of the 5th era, you know, where everywhere you see there are a galaxy of 1000 scholars who are preaching this Samysaar everywhere, in every community, Samaj, you know, wherever the temples are there. Lot of things happening, lot of things. We never imagined that something in English would be there, but now we are studying in English. Okay. So many things are coming up, and many developments are happening. So net we are in the best phase. Okay. So we should grab this opportunity with both the hands, make it as a priority in our life, because this is going to solve our all problems permanently, not temporarily, you know. So the 4 kinds of donation, you know, Ahardan, Aushadhidan, Abhaydan, and Gyandan. Okay. 4 types of donation or gift. Ahar is gift of food, gift of medicine, gift of fearlessness, and gift of knowledge. Out of these four, first three will only serve the purpose in one life. If I give you food, your hunger would be met for one day only. Next day you will be again hungry. If I give you medicine, that disease would be cured. Okay. If I make you fearless, you'll be fearless for this birth only. But if you get this knowledge, then this knowledge will enlighten you and you will get liberate. So this is going to solve our problem. So just we have to make this our priority. We have to explore, read it again and again, and automatically you will pick up the word's meaning automatically without anyone's help. You can do it on yourself. Okay. Swamiji read these scriptures on its own. There was nobody to teach him. Okay. So people have done enough struggles. So that's why we are so sitting in comfort and understanding this, because somebody had done all the hard work. Okay. So for us, it has become very easy. Okay. So Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev, what he has to say? Although this narrative related to sensual enjoyment, being opposed to oneness, gives rise to great contradiction. Ati visamvad. Okay. Nevertheless, the entire realm of living beings has heard it countless times, has become acquainted with it countless times, and has experienced it countless times as well. Because we all have these past impressions of sensual pleasures. You know, when I read this in newspaper maybe around 20 years ago. Okay. So in a country like Sweden, or yeah, it was Sweden most probably. So Sweden or Switzerland, one of those. So they did an experiment. There was a mental hospital and they were all mental retarded hospitals, and one male and one female. They were mentally retarded, and they never has the sense where to do toilet and where to put foods and nothing, and both were locked up in a room, and within half an hour or 1 hour they started mating. So then those realized that how this has happened. They don't have sense where to sit and where to do toilet and nothing. They don't have that much sense. So without any experience, how they did this? It's all past impressions. So this sensual enjoyment is nothing new that we are doing right now in this birth. We are doing it continuously from time immemorial. Okay. So this we have done countless time, heard it, acquainted with it, and experienced it countless time as well. Okay. Further, we are seeing this situated in the middle of the world cycle. Okay. We are situated in the middle of the wheel of the world cycle. So that wheel is moving. Okay. And subjected to the wanderings produced by the infinite panch paravartan. What is this 5 paravartan? 5 paravartan is substance, space, time, state of existence, and mode. Okay. First one, the second one is infinite time, the first one. The third one is infinite time, then the second one, and so on. Okay. That means we have taken birth, we have been associated with substance infinite times, all the substances that are available in this universe. We have been associated with that substance infinite times. Similarly, we have been to the space in the whole universe infinite times. You have been in Dubai infinite times earlier also. It is not the first time that you have gone to Dubai. Infinite times. Similarly, time. We have been exposed to time infinite times earlier also. The same 6 eras we have been soul is never soul is never destroyed. So soul exists in time immemorial, no beginning to soul's existence. So we have taken birth in each and every time cycle and every moment. Okay. And state of existence, all the states of existence and all the 84 lakh species that exist in the universe, we have taken a birth in each and every species. And the last one is mode, bhav, which kind of sentiments we have not manifested. We have manifested all kinds of sentiments. So nothing new. So in this constant, in this wheel of the world cycle, we have been subjected to wanderings in this Panch Paravartan infinite times and is yoked like a bull. Yoked means joined. Joined like a bull by the demon. Demon means bhoot. Okay. In the form of great delusion. Okay. So we studied about Vyantar Dev, you know. So bhoot means ghost. Ghost is one of the species of Vyantar Dev. There are 10 species of Vyantar Dev. One of them is ghost. Okay. So this ghost here means the delusion is referred to as the ghost. Because we were under the control of delusion and he yoked like a bull, okay, by the demon in the form of great delusion, Mahamoh, which overpowers the entire world. The entire world is under the control of this great delusion. Through its sovereign dominion. Dominion means the power to rule and control. Dominion means the power to rule and control the entire world through its sovereign dominions, which makes him bear burdens. So we have been carrying this burden since infinite times, and not only in one place or one time, one substance or one time or one state of existence, but infinite. Scorched and agitated by the burning of the extremely swift disease called craving. Craving is a disease, Trishna, you know. Scorched and agitated, scorched and agitated by the burning of the extremely swift disease called craving, just as a deer overpowered by a mirage, you know, deer overpowered by a mirage wanders in the forest. Okay. So there are mirage in a desert. Everyone have heard this story. Jeev platform has made a video on this. I'm going to share. Okay. Very nice video. But he never gets a drop of water and he dies because the rays of the sun on the sand looks as there is a water at a distance. So he goes running over there because he's very thirsty. And he goes, he said, there is no water. It's just a reflection. Then again at a distance he sees that sand, just like a water. So again he goes there and there is no water. So similarly going, wandering here and there, and ultimately he dies of heat, but never gets a drop of water. Similarly, we are also after sensual pleasures, but we never experience real happiness. Okay. Which makes him burdens. Scorched and agitated by the burning of the extremely swift disease called craving, just as a deer overpowered by a mirage wanders in the forest. In the same way, this world of living beings, being surrounded by the objects of the five senses, or having itself surrounded the objects of the five senses, acts as a teacher to one another. We act as a teacher to one another. Just now I said, no, go to that restaurant, amazing food. In this matter, each one explains, teaches, and inspires the other. That is why the tale of desire, enjoyment, and bondage is so accessible to everyone. Okay. Last two paragraphs. But the oneness of the soul or the unitary yet distinct soul. Again, you have to correct here, Darshitji. Everyone has to correct. But the oneness of the soul or the unitary yet distinct soul. Ekatva vibhakta atma. Unitary yet distinct soul, which is clearly seen as separate through the pure light of discriminative knowledge. Okay, which is clearly seen. When it will be clearly seen, Priyanka? Through the pure light of discriminative knowledge. So when you practice discriminative knowledge, the nature of this unitary or distinct soul would be very clear to you. Okay. Although it is luminously manifest within. अंतरंग में प्रगट रूप से प्रकाशमान. Okay, it is luminously manifest within, is nevertheless becoming extremely obscured. Obscured means hidden. Okay, it is nevertheless becoming extremely obscured because it is being made one with the cycle of passions. So when it connects with the cycle of passions, it gets obscured. Although it is luminously manifest within, it is existing. It's existing in every modification. But just because of our ignorance, just because of our delusion, we are doing oneness with the cycle of passions. We are doing mindness with the cycle of passions. We are doing doership. We are becoming a doer of this cycle of passions. And we are becoming an enjoyer of this cycle of passions because of delusion. Okay. So that's why we are not able to realize this pure soul, unitary yet distinct soul. Okay. Now the last paragraph. The beings of the world do not know their own selves at all. We don't know who we are. What is our true identity? All my life I believe myself to be Darshit. But now I realize that I'm not Darshit. I'm pure soul. So this is a new identity, right? The beings of the world do not know their own selves at all. And they do not serve those who know the soul or the Atma, nor remain in their company, right? So if you go to the temple and listen to Hemant Bhai's lecture, then you will be able to understand this. But if you don't go to the temple, you never, even Hemant Bhai comes here from here to Nairobi all the way, but you don't have time to go to the temple. Then how you come in touch with that, right? So this is right. The beings of the world do not know their own selves at all, and they do not serve those who know the Atma, nor remain in their company. Okay. Therefore, this subject matter of the unitary yet distinct soul, Ekatva Vibhakta Atma, has never been heard by beings of the world, nor have they ever become acquainted with it, nor they have ever experienced it. For this very reason, the unity of the distinct soul is not easily attainable. Through this verse, Acharya Kunkund Dev and Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev wants us to realize that this is something you have got is very rare. What you are talking about, money, wealth and all, these are all going to remain here. But if you understand this, you will get liberated. This birth and death will go on. This cycle we have been undergoing since time immemorial. There is no beginning to it. 5 paravartans, Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav and Bhav. So this we have been doing since time immemorial. This is not something new we have done for the first time. But this is something we have never understood, we have never learned about it, we have never served those who know about it, we have never experienced it. Okay. So this is something which is not easily accessible. Now the challenge is more, we can say, more prominent, that now that you know, that now that you have access to it, then it becomes your duty to realize it. And then for that you have to put in efforts, right? So just like for clearing your degrees that you acquired during your college days, you know, you were studying 16 hours, 20 hours a day. That's how you pass on these exams, you know. That much struggle we had done, all done. We have all done that struggle. But right now, we have to just understand this. And maybe sparing 1 hour, 2 hours a day is enough. Not 16 hours a day that you did when you were acquiring these degrees, right? Right now, you have to just spare 1, 2 hours. So that much effort you have to do. You have to take time out and understand this. Okay. So again, in terms of effort, we have 3 things to do. One is the study, swadhyay, then chintan manan, contemplations, and analysis. Second step. Third step is the decision, nirnay. Okay. So this much is the effort that you have to do. And if you do this, you will be able to realize this soul. Okay. In the next verse, something interesting coming up that of course we will be doing tomorrow. Okay. Let me see if anything else I need to connect here. Let me see. Yeah. The one thing more that I need to check. Next page, 55. Go to page number 55. First paragraph. Depicting the miserable. Next page. Yes, this one. This one paragraph. This is not a part of syllabus, I'm telling you, but just for the sake of our understanding, this is good one. Despite depicting the miserable condition of the ignorant one. Okay. So Acharya Dev, not this Acharya Dev, I think this is by Pandit Jaychandji Chabda. Depicting the miserable condition of the ignorant one, the commentary says that the world is being crushed. So here four things have been said, you know, 4 examples. The world is being crushed between the 2 millstones of worldly existence. Samysaar Rupi Chakki. You know, in earlier days, you used to have chakki for grinding the grains, you know. In Sholay picture, you have that chakki. That's why you know, otherwise, I knew when we were very small, we knew that in our house, the chakki has to be there and we used to do those things. But the younger generation would not have access to that also. But now we have mixies and some bigger machines also there. Okay. So despite the miserable condition of the ignorant one, depicting the miserable condition of the ignorant one, the commentary says that this world, the commentary of Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev, that this world is being crushed between the 2 millstones of worldly existence, just like grains of corn. Then the demon of delusion, Mo Rupi Bhut, is yoking it like cattle. Okay. Second example. It is burning with fever of the disease of craving. This is the third. Okay. It is burning with the fever of the disease of craving, Trishna Rupi Rog, and ensnared in the mirage of the illusion. It wanders like a deer deluded by the mirage. So 4 things have been said. First one, the 2 millstones of worldly existence. Second, grains of corn, just like grains of corn. Third one, burning with the fever of the disease of craving. Okay. And the fourth one, ensnared in the mirage of illusion. Okay. So these 4 examples have been given to depict the miserable condition of the ignorant one. I'll be sharing the video regarding the deer and the mirage. Okay. But rest one you have to understand. The astonishing thing is that this ignorant world, entangled and ensnared in the objects of the 5 senses, itself assumes the role of preceptor people instruct and train one another in the cleverness of sensuality and passions. Vishay Kashar. They teach how to earn money and to how to enjoy it, etc. Advising and encouraging each other in such activities. Okay. And one more paragraph, just 2 minutes. Thus, all the ignorant ones inspire one another only towards indulgence in enjoyment. For this reason, the narratives of desire and enjoyment and bondage are found everywhere in the world and are easily accessible. But the account of the Bhagwan Atma, distinct from the non-self and indivisibly one within itself, is exceedingly rare, because those who speak of it are very few in this world, seen here and there only like the faint gleam of fireflies. What is this fireflies? Jugnu. Yeah, Jugnu. Thus all ignorant ones. So this we did. One more reference. Go to the next page. 2 lines only. Alas, in this age of already passed. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Alas, in the age of darkness, Kalyug. This is a Kalyug. 5th era is a Kalyug. Okay. Those who impart true spiritual instructions, Sat Updesh, shine only here and there like fireflies. This is indeed a matter of deep sorrow. Okay. So this is not something that many people will join this. Okay. So just now I started one happiness course, So, so in the Hindi one, there were around more than 300 people who have joined in, and they are still continuing with the Samysaar. But in the English one and the Gujarati one, there were less people, 150, around 150 only. So it's not something that you will have followers like, in millions and crores like we have in movies and celebrities and all these things, You see any YouTube video about a song, about a movie, you will see 5 lakh views, 10 lakh views like this, but not this, because it's very rare. And it's going to be rare. Okay, even if you get an access, there is no guarantee that you will be able to reach there, because there are a lot of distractions in between. Because that is the nature of the delusion. For time immemorial, we were under the control of delusion. And now in this birth, we are trying to get out of its clutches. So it's not going to be easy. Because when the delusion realizes that he is getting out of my control, he will be more powerful. He will become more powerful. He will try to distract you, But so long you are in touch with Jinvani, you are safe. The moment you go out of this zone, then delusion takes it over. So it's going to be a very fierce battle between delusion and knowledge. Knowledge is our soldier and delusion is our enemy. Okay. So this battle will go on. If you take shelter of this Jinvani, if you follow the instructions of Jinvani, you will get rid of delusion. 100%. No doubt about it. But you have to put in that efforts. Okay. So this is not something that you will be easily able to understand. You have to work hard on it. But if your approach is very clear, okay, you will definitely understand it. Okay. So you need determination, you need patience, you need right time, right kind of efforts, and you need to prioritize it in your life. Then it's all easy. Okay. This is so interesting that in a city like Bombay, I was earning money and there is no end to desires, right? But still then I thought, this is enough for me. I will, even if I don't get luxuries in life, it's okay for me. But this is something which I wanted to pursue. This was so interesting, and it has been close to more than 15 years that I have left business and still I am busy. I never have the time for anything other. It's so interesting. So it's quite possible. And once you struggle and try for this, automatically you have meritorious karma coming to your side. And you get all the associations, all the right connections, and you are able to put in efforts also, everything. So just one decision and one step you take, the other steps are going to come up automatically. Okay. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss the 5th verse, and the next week we will start the 6th verse. It's all are very interesting. You read again and again. I didn't find time to write the gist which I was supposed to do, but still I have this in mind, and I am planning every day to do something or the other, but something or other comes up. But I am very much clear about my intent. So definitely I'll be able to do it. Maybe 1 or 2 days here and there. I'll start. Yeah. Yeah, Darshit.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say that the Moodle is now working.
Yes.
Rajeshri ji has really encouraged me. She's tried very hard. She's finally managed to get it going yesterday for herself.
Okay.
And I've just done it just before class, and I've managed to upload all my 4 assignments. So one thing
Good.
I'd like to say is when you try and upload, just remember to press save, because in the beginning I was getting it all wrong.
Okay.
There's a save button on the top right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now it is working. So you all can upload, and it will be a good collection for you to access later on. Okay. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। 9 times नमोकार मंत्र।